Good evening. Welcome to Dentistry and You. I'm your host, Dr. Casebolt. Tonight, I want to talk about good nutrition, good dental nutrition, because it's important for your health. It's important for your body. With me tonight is Mrs. Carol Poland from the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Dentistry. Carol, welcome to Kansas City Alive and Dentistry and You.
Good evening.
You know, I've always said, what we eat is what we are. We are what we eat, and that's a very, very important fact. If we eat the right foods, if we exercise, if we take good care of our teeth, they'll last a lifetime.
Correct.
Not only that, we get another benefit from all of this. We get good health, general overall health, and I just happen to believe that good oral health is the good precursor to good general overall health. But I think tonight, since we're talking about dental nutrition, Carol, I'd like to talk specifically about the effects of, quote, bad foods, the bad dental foods, and how they affect our teeth. If you would just explain a little bit about what tooth decay is and what causes it, I'm sure our people at home would really appreciate it.
Well, the main thing about tooth decay that I'm concerned about with is, of course, is the food. And people do have to eat no matter what. And we eat carbohydrate a lot. And we need to eat 60% of our calories is carbohydrate, which is sugar and starches. Now, the sugars, particularly from concentrated sweets, which might be anything good like dried fruit, to the obvious sweets like candies and
Snickers bars.
Yes, are the things that are the problem for the dental caries, because it provides a real good food for the bacteria in our mouth to produce acids which then break down the tooth enamel. But we still need plenty of carbohydrate for our bodies, so we cannot eliminate all the foods that have carbohydrate by any means, particularly starches.
Exactly. So actually a good balanced meal is very important, and I think even also as important, since we do need the carbohydrate, the grain type foods, which include potato chips, baked potatoes, the good foods also, that good dental hygiene, good brushing techniques, flossing every night before going to bed, brushing very thoroughly with a good fluoride toothpaste. All of these things are real important. But one of the things I want to concentrate on is, especially with Halloween coming up, lots of candy out there. It might be good to substitute candy with things like fresh fruit, like especially apples. There's nothing better than a Washington Delicious apples. I always keep a bunch in the refrigerator. The kids love them. I eat them. Carrots. Of course, we can't give carrots out for Halloween, or could we? I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't be appropriate. But raw carrots, raw vegetables of various types, things like this. What would you tell our public of what they should do as far as distributing goods to our children for Halloween?
If you want to buy purchase things, small packages of things like peanuts and nuts would be less full of sugar. And of course, then there are things like cereals, which you come in individual boxes. If you find the kind that is non-sweetened, would be a little better. Also, they have instant packages of hot cereals, which you can give out in individual portions to children. So there are several things out there that might be better.
Oh, that's great. And I want to mention to our viewers out there, we're entertaining your phone call, and at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a phone number that you can call us. You can either talk to myself, Dr. Casebolt, or Mrs. Carol Poland about anything to do with good dental nutrition. We'd certainly like to hear from you, so if you'd like to give us a call, please do, because we don't have a whole lot of time tonight. Carol, I would like to go over one other thing that I think is important too. Just exactly what causes tooth decay or dental disease. Just what is it in these grainy carbohydrate type foods or sugary foods that causes all the problem?
There are many kinds of sugars. There's sucrose, which is table sugar that comes from cane sugar or from sugar beets, and that's very common in prepared foods that you buy that are easy to eat. And then there's the natural sugar even in fruit, which is often plain fructose or glucose.
Yes.
So any of those would be problems. Lactose, even the milk sugar, would be considered a problem too, particularly for babies who might be given a bottle every night when they go to bed as a constant habit, night after night. Even the milk sugar could be harmful.
So we're talking about the natural sugar in the milk, or are we talking about sugar that's added?
Sugar. Natural sugar. Even that. Sugar is sugar, even if it's not added. And they've even found from studies that other kind of carbohydrate may be a problem too, talking about starches. But of course, you cannot eliminate these things from your diet, so you have to work around it.
That's why we make good toothbrushes, and we push good dental floss, and 6-month dental visits. Oh, by gollies, we can't overlook that, because that's really important. But good food is good food, and I hate to see situations develop in which children, and I do make a very strong emphasis about children, not only because I have 2 beautiful children of my own, but they are the future of our society. Everything that we will be in the future comes down to our children. And that's why it's so very, very important that we start very early with good nutrition for our children. What do you recommend for our people at home, our viewers at home? What should they do about good nutrition? What kind of food should they serve? How should they go about it? Things like organized meals, aspects about snacking between meals.
The number of
like
times you eat in a day are a factor. If you try to eat good meals with plenty of food so that you're full until the time for the next meal, filling your stomach so you'll make it for the next 3 or 4 hours without snacking, this kind of helps protect your teeth because you're not exposing them to food every couple of hours without the chance to brush. Rinsing, of course, is helpful, but trying to eat a reasonable number of times a day can be helpful.
I think what a lot of people don't realize is the bacteria, just what's involved with the bacteria. Bacteria obviously cannot consume all kinds of foods. Their digestive process, which they really don't have, but I will use the word respiratory process. I know not too many people out there know what that means, but they're ways of utilizing food to produce energy, to reproduce, and all this. They can only utilize certain kinds of foods.
Right.
Foods like, one of my favorites is raw broccoli. I love it. Raw carrots. Vegetables that are uncooked. Not only are they rich in minerals because it hasn't been cooked out of them, and not only that, but they actually help clean the teeth.
Yes, they're called the detergent foods in a little bit of a way. Yes, even though they may have minute amounts of carbohydrate, they aren't as bad as eating a lollipop or a sticky candy type of food that will be in the mouth next to the teeth a longer time.
Okay, so again, things like sugars, starches, the amount, to kind of paraphrase what we were saying, it's the amount of time that they're exposed to the surfaces of the teeth. Now, there are toxins that are produced by the bacteria. Obviously, we fuel the bacteria with sugars, with starchy foods.
Particularly more so than with fat or protein.
Potato chips, that's one of my few vices. I don't use table sugar. I gave that up a long time ago. My dental education taught me better. But potato chips, let's say, for instance, they stay on the teeth for a long period of time. The bacteria begin to consume, imbibe, absorb. They actually absorb. They don't have teeth. They can't chew it up, and they can't digest it in the stomach like animals can. But they actually absorb these materials. There are toxins that are put out that actually, number one, burn away at the tooth structure and also burn the gums and cause gingivitis. Could you tell our viewers something about these toxins?
Well, I think of them usually as acids, and this is kind of a reaction to the fermentation process as the bacteria eat at the sugar, they also eat at the enamel. And so it's important to get rid of the excess sugars as much as you can. And eating a mixture of foods, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in a meal with the various foods is a better way to do this than to leave it in individual small food eating times, frequent eating all the time during the day.
Exactly.
So it really is kind of against eating a lot of snacks in one day's time if you haven't got a way to clean your teeth afterwards.
So those good basic meals for everybody sits down and enjoys a good, well-balanced meal is really important. We have a videotape that I'd like you all to see. It came from the good people of Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, as you know, makes a variety of good dental products. Crest toothpaste is one of them. I would like to show that to you in just a second, but again, I want to tell you, folks out there, we are accepting phone calls. If you have a question, for gosh sakes, give us a call because we'd sure like to hear from you. Let's take a look at this tape and we'll be right back.
This is an apple, and this is an apple. The difference between the two, gum disease. You don't brush, you don't floss, you don't visit your dentist, you don't eat this apple. You eat this one.
This message was brought to you with the approval of the American Dental Association by Crest, the dentist's choice, because healthy gums are important to healthy teeth.
Well, welcome back to Dentistry and You. I hope you enjoyed that little 30-second spot that was produced by Procter & Gamble. By the way, nothing against applesauce, but you know, if I had my choice, I'd rather have a nice, solid, Washington delicious apple that I can bite into with a strong set of teeth. And believe me, that's really important. And that's what this is all about. Again, I'm here with my guest, Carol Poland from the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Dentistry. And I don't know what else to say other than what we had said before: good nutrition, eating the right foods, having good, well-balanced foods, taking good care of our teeth. Those good brushing techniques are so important.
With children, you might remember that it's important to get a good calcium intake for the permanent teeth to be growing into the child's mouth, because this happens before the age of 3. So it's very important for very young children to get a well-balanced diet in the sense of enough minerals for the tooth development. So that's another aspect of another need for a mineral before, you know, growth is really started anywhere else.
Now this starts at a pretty early age, because after all, the adult teeth are developing even at the time of that first year of life.
Yes.
And the food preparations that young children have, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about the canned foods that are manufactured or produced versus the ones that, let's say, mom makes?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything against the commercially prepared baby food. You can do it yourself at home. Convenience is very important, so, you know, I have no strong feelings either way of either type of food. The main thing is being a good role model within the family as the child gets away from baby food and into table food.
Mm-hmm. How many cups of milk, or how many forms of calcium should a child get in a day's time?
How many servings?
How many servings?
Yeah, probably 4 to 5, particularly with those first 2 or 3 years of life. You need at least a quart of milk or the equivalent of it in some form for calcium, ideally.
Because that calcium then becomes part of the enamel and the structure of the tooth.
Yes.
It makes the teeth strong, it makes the bone strong, and it makes the child develop properly. Carol, I really appreciate you coming on Kansas City Alive with me in Dentistry and You. And again, I want to thank all of you for watching Kansas City Alive. And remember, take good care of yourself, eat good foods, watch your diet, brush your teeth, floss them thoroughly at night, and you'll do very, very well. Again, thank you for watching Dentistry and You.